One of the most frustrating things for me as a beginning photographer was not understanding why my images would come out blurry and lack sharpness. I'd even blame the camera, thinking I needed to upgrade to professional gear. But the real problem? Me. Whilst I understood aperture, I had no idea how the other elements of the exposure triangle worked. And I thought I could get around this by shooting in aperture priority. But solely controlling aperture was actually causing most of the issues in my photographs. In this video, we're going to go beyond aperture. We're going to learn all about its equally important partner, shutter speed. And we're going to do it in a way that's simple, logical, and easy to understand. Shutter speed is the amount of time your camera's sensor is exposed to light. The shutter works like a small curtain inside the camera. It opens to let light hit the sensor, then closes again to stop the light. The time it remains open can be incredibly short, thousandths of a second, or much longer, like 1 second, 10 seconds, or even more. Shutter speed directly affects how bright or dark our images are. A fast shutter speed, like 1/500th of a second, only lets light in for a very brief moment. A slow shutter speed, like 1 second, keeps the shutter open much longer, so more light reaches the sensor. Think of it like filling a glass with water. For only 1 second, you get a small amount of water. Leave it running for 5 seconds, and you get 5 times more. Shutter speed works the same way. Keep the shutter open longer, more light. Shorter, less light. That sounds really simple. But here's the kicker. Shutter speed doesn't just affect exposure. So earlier, I said that my photos used to come back blurry and lacking sharpness. That was because shutter speed, like all the parts of the exposure triangle, works as a trade-off. If we take something, we have to give something away. In this case, if we take more light through shutter speed, we give away time. And this massively affects our images. When we leave the shutter open longer, we take more light, but we're also capturing the passage of time during that exposure. Anything that moves whilst the shutter is open will show motion in your photograph. And it's not just your subjects moving that you have to worry about, it's you as well. Every tiny movement you make whilst holding the camera gets recorded in that time, and those micro movements show up as blur. So with shutter speed, we're never just thinking about exposure. We have to balance it with motion, light versus movement. A fast shutter speed, like 1/500th of a second, freezes everyday motion easily. But a slow shutter speed, like 1 second, captures everything. The tiny movements of our subjects and the tiny movements of our hands. And all that shows up as those blurry, soft, unsharp areas we've all encountered in our photographs. Motion doesn't necessarily mean bad. We can purposely capture motion to add artistic intent to our images. Let me show you what I mean. In this first example, a headshot for a website, we want a clean, sharp, detailed image. No blur anywhere on the subject. So I use an appropriate shutter speed, in this case 1/200th of a second, and that was fast enough to freeze the subject and to allow me to handhold the camera whilst keeping everything crisp. But in this second image, you'll notice the people are slightly shapeless and lack detail. Well, that's also intentional. This photo is a commercial location shot. I wanted to show the space being used by the public, but without capturing identifiable faces. So I allowed them to blur slightly by using a longer shutter speed. And to ensure that only the people blurred, not the environment, I placed the camera onto a solid tripod, which removed me and my motion from the equation altogether. But a camera's auto modes don't understand intent. And that's why I was getting motion blurred images back when I was shooting in aperture priority mode. I chose an aperture, but the camera automatically adjusted the shutter speed only based on exposure. So when that shutter speed became too slow, I ended up with unwanted motion and blur in my images. How do we choose the right shutter speed? It really comes down to two things. How much light do we have? And do we want to freeze motion or show motion? And if your goal is to freeze action, people walking, kids running, waves crashing, even your own handshake, we'll want that fast shutter speed. But if we want to show motion, silky water, light trails, the gentle blur of people moving through a scene, we'll want to use a slower shutter speed. And when it comes to hand-holding your camera and trying to avoid motion blur from us photographers, there's a simple rule that can help us. Use a shutter speed with a fraction number bigger than the focal length. What this means is if we have a 50mm lens on our camera, we'll need to select a shutter speed of 1/50th, 1/50 of a second or faster. At 200mm, think 1/200, 1/200th of a second or faster. It's not a strict rule, but it is a great starting point, especially when you're learning. And when you need a slower shutter speed than the rule allows, use some support, a tripod, a wall, a table, even the floor. So what do we do when we need sharp, crisp images, but also need more light? We look towards the other two parts of the exposure triangle, aperture or ISO. And ISO really is the hero of the piece. And you'll learn all about how it works on this video here. So make sure that you watch this one next. But if you're not quite certain about aperture yet, click this video instead. I've been Dave for Let's Click Photography. Bye.